यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to have a small recap of 10th chapter. Then he will proceed with 11th chapter. Now the name of 10th chapter is known as Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means glory, the glories of Ishvara. Now why should I study the glory of Ishvara? Because the chapter, it comes as the 10th chapter. It is not kept as the 6th or 7th chapter, because the first 6 chapter deals about an individual personality, because individual personality is given a complete knowledge in various level in first 6 chapter. Then it comes about Ishvara. Now in the beginning itself we should have spoken the glory of Ishvara, isn't it? Krishna didn't adapt that way. He brings as the middle portion. Now you see the second Shatka, the second 6th chapter, which deals about the world and Ishvara. Now he brings Ishvara first, then world next. In the 7th chapter, so when he started narrating the nature of Ishvara, he just introduced both how the world had created. The creation also is discussed in the name of Ishvara Swarupa. In the 7th chapter and in the 9th chapter, whatever is being taught with that knowledge, which is the foundation for Ishvara Darshanam. Now what is the difference between the glories, understanding the glories of Ishvara, and having darshan of Ishvara? That's what we are going to learn today. See, understanding glory, you need to have an open mind. That is enough. But when you want to see, means when you want to have the darshanam, then you have to be qualified enough for that darshan. Because the spiritual growth has as a destination is Ishvara Darshanam. Because so many people, even Ramakrishna, who used to crave to have the Kali Darshan. And in Purana also we have seen so many people. In all the stories of Alvars, Nayanmars, we have seen many Nayanmars and Alvars who craved to have the Ishvara Darshan. Ishvara Darshanam is a special thing which is considered in one's life. Now this Vibhuti Yoga, the glories of Ishvara, is to be experienced as the Mananam of Vedanta. Because in the 7th chapter and 9th chapter, so when the Bhagavan Krishna himself, he talks about Ishvara in 3 levels of understanding. The first level, I am bringing that for more clarity, because this 6th chapter, in every chapter, in the beginning and at the end, we have to bring this knowledge. The Ishvara's understandings have been given in Bhagavad Gita as 3 levels. The first level of understanding, accepting and understanding Ishvara as the creator or maker of the world. When you understand Ishvara as the creator, then Ishvara is existing somewhere else and creating and administrating this world. The places are given like Kailash or Vaikuntha. Now the devotee's job becomes very easy to have or to communicate. Though the Ishvara is beyond our perception, but the place is given. So he is in Vaikuntha, he is in Kailasha, she is in Shripura, he is in Brahmaloka. Then this is like, when your relative exists, he stays in abroad. In those days, no this phone facilities, mobile facilities, only the post facilities. So we have to communicate. That communication will reach after 2 months, and he will communicate and it will reach after 2 months. We used to live in the past and future. That communication is a kind of unique communication. You express something, that expression will reach to him after 2 months, and he should go back to your expression. Means in order to enjoy your expressions, then he has to bring his expression in the present. In the same way, a devotee who is in the beginning level, he is given that kind of job, communicating and expressing something and waiting for that God's expressions. That is the beginning level. Okay, then the second level, it's a little bit more improvement. That's what is given in the 10th chapter. The second level of understanding, God comes very near. How? We just negate that God is sitting somewhere else beyond our reach. That is negated. Now God has come to us in the form of what? Creation itself. Parinami upadana karana Ishvaraha. And he is also nimitta karana and upadana karana, both karana. So he becomes the cause of this entire universe, and he himself exists in the form of universe. It's very easy to say this is the second level of understanding, but if you want to bring in your life, it's very difficult, I tell you, because life consists both, good and bad. And this is a unique incidents, accidents, which take every day. You cannot see Ishvara in that. Therefore, a devotee who has come to second level, so he has got lots of maturity. That maturity needs the glories of Ishvara. It wants to observe, it wants to receive the glories of Ishvara. So when a devotee is struggling himself to convert or to elevate from the beginning level to the middle level, then he needs a tonic called the listening glories of Ishvara, and as a teaching from Ishvara himself. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says, these glories I am narrating to you for your improvement. You can elevate yourself from the beginning level to the middle level, which is known as Virat Bhakti. That Virat Bhakti means what? So acceptance or understanding God as evolved as in the form of world. That is the second level. That second level, in order to improve himself, it needs the teaching of glories. Bhagavan Krishna began. The third level is not talked about here. The third level, that is Advaita Rupa Bhakti, Arupa Bhakti. The first was Ekarupa Bhakti. In the Ekarupa Bhakti, people crave in the beginning level, like Ramakrishna, who crave for Kali Darshan, and people, so many people who craved for a special one Devata Darshanam. So he wants to see Ishvara as in the form of Rama. He wants to see Ishvara in the form of Krishna. He wants to see the Ishvara in the form of Venkateshwara. So there are devotees I have seen, they are craving for Balaji Darshanam. And definitely Balaji will give Darshanam. But the same Balaji, same Venkateshwara will improve his understanding level, he will come to him in the form of a desired object. As fulfilling his all desires, he will make him understand what is the next level. Okay, now this Vibhuti means glories, that glories of Ishvara. Why one should learn the glories of Ishvara? I have given the answer. In order to elevate himself or herself from the first level to second level. That's what the target of the chapter 10. There, Krishna himself, because Krishna has found this is the time to elevate him from his own understanding. Bhoya eva mahabaho shrunu me paramam vachaha. Again you listen to me because the teaching is not completed. Okay, then he just begins verses from 4 to 7. He gives Ishvara Swarupam. The essence of all teaching is being given in this few verses, verse number 4 to 7. So there he gives in different way. Just he begins and talks about creation. There he begins, there are two kinds of prapanchas are available. Now again you see the same things which is taught in the chapter number 7 and chapter number 9, but in different angle. Now he begins with the experience of a student. Do you experience your existence? Yes, sir, I experience my existence. When you experience this, your existence throughout the day, yes, of course. During sleep, I'm not there to confirm my existence during sleep. Can you confirm after waking up from the sleep? Yes, of course I can. It means your existence is confirmed by something which is left in the sleep. Yes, of course, because I could experience that satisfaction, that relaxation, that calm and quietude position. Yes, I can remember. It means so I am experiencing, though I am not there to express, but I experience. So you experience yourself. Do you experience the world? Yes. What kind of world? The world is world. No, there are two kinds of world. You experience both of them, Antara Prapancha and Bahya Prapancha. Now, the teaching goes according to the experience of the students. That's what he said. Buddhir jnanama sammohaha. Every individual we have intellect, and every individual we have krama, satyam, damaha, shamaha, sukham, dukkham, bhavaha, bhava. See, we have patience, and we have truthfulness, and then sense control means damaha means controlling the organs, shamaha means mind control, happiness, sorrow, and birth and death and fear and fearlessness. Everything is experienced by you or not. Yes, sir, I can experience. That is known as Antara Prapancha. The Prapancha, without these Sukshma things, Antara means the Prapancha which is subtle. So in the first two shlokas, in the fourth and fifth, he talks about the inner world or the subtle world. So world has grossified, because world means immediately what we think, the five elemental aspects, which is given as a mixed form, is known as Panchikritam. Panchikritam means a grossified world. The grossification is in a different manner. The grossifications have been explained in the beginning level of books like Tattvabodha, Viveka Chudamani, and there is one text even called Panchikarana itself. So they talk about how this subtle is grossified. So those deep knowledge we don't require here. We require, word means it has got two aspects. One is gross, another is subtle. The subtle world is experienced by us. Every psychological level, that subtle world is not experienced by all as the others experience. Now what I mean to say, that is only evident to you. You can experience about your happiness. You can experience your sadness. You can experience your strength and weakness. You can experience the well-being and not well-being, and you can experience your death, birth, all kinds of modifications which happens in you as the emotions. All of them are our own experience. Therefore Bhagavan says, you just understand world is nothing but in the form of experiences, but in those experiences all these categories they come. We are not out of subject whenever we study about ahimsa. So especially in India, so we are giving priority, in the schools also. When teacher, there is a session called MI, moral instruction, and this teacher will be teaching interestingly, but students will be looking at here and there, and they will be playing something, because from the childhood, satyam vada dharmam chara swadhyaya anma pramadaha, all these things, you should speak truth, because truth alone exists, because the fact alone gets satyameva jayate. All these instructions, people won't get involved in that, because it goes beyond the head. We are less interesting people in that. But that ahimsa is connected with your life in the form of prapancha, antara prapancha. That satyam is connected with your life as the world, because ahimsa has got a vital role to play. Ahimsa means that is your contribution, your communication with the world. Your communication and the world, both aspects have been narrated by Bhagavan Krishna. The world means it is connected with you very much in subtle form. The subtle form is told first, but he didn't say that ahimsa is me, that satyam is me. So just he told. The world has got two aspects. One is the subtle aspects called antara prapancham. Then he talks about Bahya Prapancham. Bahya Prapancham means the grossified world. As he said, Brahmaji created first 4 rishis, and they went as adapting Nivritti Marga, because Nivritti Marga means a path which involves a renunciation. So they didn't want to enter into karma. Therefore he created 7 more rishis and 14 more manus, and from this manu, the world creation has continued. That's all, only one shloka. In that he has created, this Thola Prapancha is created from these rishis and manus, and that is Sankalpa Matrena he created them. Then he talked about his yoga and vibhuti, the 7th verse, which is the seed verse for vibhuti yoga whole chapter. He just yetam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvatah so vikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. Therefore, this Bahya Prapancha and Antara Prapancha both are known as Yogam and Vibhuti. Antara Prapancha is named as Yogaha, Bahya Prapancha named as Vibhuti. Both together he just narrated as in the form of glories. From 8 to 12. He talks about Virat Bhakta, who has understood the fact which was narrated from verse number 4 to 7. That Virat Bhakti, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. In this 8th verse, he gives the gist of the chapter. I am the source of all the creation. From me alone everything comes. So these people who are Virat Bhaktas, they have understood. That's what my yogam is. That's what my vibhuti is. Machitta Madgata Pranaha Bodhayantah Parasparam. So these people have understood me as I am everything. That I am everything is he is going to explain later on. But he talks about the people who have understood him as Virat Swarupaha. That Virat Swarupaha, so to be observed in one's experience with intellectual level. That intellectual level of understanding is required first, then he can observe with that knowledge which is given. Therefore, the devotees are explained from verse number 9 to 10 and 11, and Prayojana also, the benefit also. When you adapt this Vishwarupa Bhakti or called Virat Bhakti, what is the benefit? I will elevate them from the beginning level to middle level. Also, I will elevate them from middle to the final level, which is known as Buddhi Yoga. Aham Buddhi Yogam Dadami. And also the benefit of Buddhi Yoga is also told in the verse number 11. They will be Nashayami Atma Bhavastaha Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. I will just remove all the ignorance which causes for the birth and death. Then Arjuna has the question. So that question, it goes up to verse number 18. So he could understand something, but he is not able to figure it what the understanding have taken places. Therefore, he wanted to just experience that understanding in the form of glory. He requests. Then Bhagavan begins from verse number 19 onwards and up to verse number 42. I think the end of this chapter. That first he gives the narration of Nirguna Swarupa, and he gives as a Vibhuti glories, as Paraloka Vibhuti, the glories of the world beyond our reach. Okay, then the Purana Loka Vibhuti, the glories of Purana Loka. Then Ihaloka Vibhuti. Vibhuti means glories which we are experiencing while living itself. So thus this chapter completes. So finally we are given now the knowledge of glories of Ishvara. These glories can be experienced day by day, minute by minute. Every shloka you have to just read and sit in a contemplation. Or one day can be spent with one shloka. Dando damayitam asmi netirasmi jigishatam. One line is enough. Dando damayitam ahamasmi. And netirasmi jigishatam. I am in the form of punishment. So when one gives the punishment, means it's you require a long time to accept. Anything that you get in the form of punishment, it's nothing but Ishvara. You just experience in Ishvara in that, because punishment is experienced by who has been given the punishment. So when you experience that, Ishvara is experienced. And Nitihi, so when you got victory, you become victorious, that victory also is nothing but Ishvara. So these words, it gives a loads of maturity to assimilate the next chapter. The next chapter we have begun from the last session itself. Now that's all. Krishna finishes the Vibhuti Yoga, but he continues this 11th chapter. But in between the question comes from Arjuna. Just we will read and we will continue. Arjuna Uvacha Madan Ugrahaya Paramam Gohyam Adhyatma Samknitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mamam Bhavapyayav Hi Bhutanam Shrutau Vistarasho Maya Tvattah Kamalapatraksha Mahatmamapi Chavyayam. He continues from chapter number 9 the Arjuna has developed, because he is not putting question in one verse, he has many more verses. Now, before entering into Arjuna's question, just we will find out the meaning of the chapter, why it is known as Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Darshana means to pursue Ishvara. And this Vishwarupa Darshana means it is known as the God appears himself as in gigantic way. So the way you are amazed, you are shocked, you are frightened, you are terrified, it is shown in a serial. Now this Vishwarupa Darshanam, it has got a different angle to understand. You are just accepting God as Vishwa. You have developed a maturity to pursue Ishvara in the world. Vishwa Rupa Ishvara Darshanam. Because Vishwameva Ishvara Rupena Darshanam. So you are able to see the world itself in the form of Ishvara. So you may get confusion. Why Swamiji says like that? That is what the proper understanding. Whenever you want to understand Lord Krishna's teaching, you have to have that much courage and matured and informed one to realize this. Now you are not the beginners. We are not beginners. We have completed 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That 10th chapter has given a kind of development in our understanding level and accepting level. Now the Vishwa which endowed with glories. So just Ishvara said from his own mouth. Now we are assimilating it, and this 11th chapter is a special chapter because it comes as the ending chapter of the second Shatka, though it continues as the 12th chapter also in the form of Bhakti Yoga. And some of my Acharya who taught Bhakti Yoga first, then they taught 11th chapter. This 11th chapter, every shloka should be digested immediately, because you have to travel with shloka by shloka with a proper digestion, with Venkateshwara's glory, with Ishvara's Anugraha, who is in the form of Venkateshwara. We will continue and we will learn thoroughly, and we can also experience Lord in every aspect according to his teaching. And we will continue with tomorrow's episode. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.